What's up, my recovery family? Hope you're all doing fantastic. Welcome to the Your Recovery Mentor channel. If you can, if you don't mind, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, click that little notification bell so you can be notified every time I drop a new video, and please share so we can get the word out that this channel exists, that there are more and more people in recovery than anyone might realize, so you have a safe place to go to communicate with others, to meet new people, to gain more support, and to learn a little something about recovery. My name is Josh. I've been in recovery since November 1st, 2013, which gives me a little over 8 years of continuous sobriety / clean time under my belt. So I've been doing this for a little while. I've also, I still do own and operate a outpatient treatment center located in Southern California. Been doing so for almost 7 years. And let's see, I've worked through 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, went on to sponsor, well over 100 men through the 12 steps. So I do have some experience, some wisdom and knowledge to bring to the table as it pertains to recovery. Today I want to talk about what's known as the stages of change. Now, you may have heard of this before. You may have heard this if you've gone to treatment before, you've probably definitely heard of this before. But it's basically the different stages that you go through when you're trying to change a behavior and where your mindset is currently at during each stage. And I think it's important to understand this process because it's good to identify where you're currently at. And to identify where you're currently at, you're going to have to, just for a minute here, drop the ego and take an honest self-assessment so that you can figure out where in these stages of change do I find myself. Because from there on out, we can figure out what the next step of the process is for you. So the very first step in the stages of change is called pre-contemplation. Basically, in a nutshell, what this means is the problem that's currently existing is not being recognized. Okay, so basically the costs of the problem behavior like addiction or alcoholism aren't recognized. The individual is in denial and is not seriously considering changing their behavior. They may have made previous attempts to change their behavior, but each one has ended in failure. Okay, so if you're in this stage right now, you're not at the point to where you even have admitted that you've got a problem that you need to deal with. So you're still in denial that, everything's still hunky-dory and all good to go. I don't have a problem. I'm not an addict. I'm not an alcoholic. I don't need treatment. I don't need help. Blah, 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 blah. Okay? So that's the first stage of change, is pre-contemplation. The second stage of change is contemplation. All right, so for this one, the individual is experiencing some signs that they want to change. They can see reasons that they should change according to their behavior, but they're still a little hesitant, right? They're on the fence. The problem behavior still continues, but at least they're starting to recognize that, hey, I might have a problem. I might have an issue that needs to be addressed. The next stage of change is called preparation. All right, so preparation, the individual has decided to change their behavior. So you're actually preparing to change your behavior, which means you have admitted that you have a problem that needs to be changed, right? And you begin to think about how are you going to do so. Now, obviously, if you're an addict or an alcoholic, there's several ways to go about doing this. You can attend meetings, you can go to treatment or rehab, you can check out my new program, yourrecoverymentor.com, which allows you to do everything from home. You can, some people unfortunately get locked up and have to do it the hard way and get off of substances that way, even though you can get stuff while you're locked up. But the fact of the matter is, the point here is that you have admitted that you have a problem and you're taking steps that will begin to make minor changes to support your goal of defeating this negative behavior of addiction or alcoholism. You might not have completely ended the unwanted behavior at this point in time. More than likely you haven't, let's be real. But at least at this point in time, you're preparing to end the behavior. It's conceptual. You're thinking about it. Like you're realizing and accepting that you have a problem that needs to be addressed. So that is a huge step forward as it pertains to these stages of change. The next one is my favorite. It's action. All right. Action meaning significant steps are taken to end this problem behavior of addiction or alcoholism. The individual might be avoiding triggers, reaching out for help, or taking other steps to avoid temptation. So you're actually doing something about it at this time. So when you get to this action stage, you have admitted you have a problem, and now you're actually doing something about it. All right, so after we enter the action stage, right, where we're actually committed to taking action and applying information to our lives to change this negative behavior, which, like I said before, could come from a number of different sources, but the key word here is action. And I'm going to throw in there application as well, taking what you've learned and applying it to your life. The next stage of change is going to be maintenance. Okay, so basically, from the maintenance stage, the stages are being made the stages that you made during the action stage are being maintained. That's why it's called the maintenance stage. Surprise, surprise. The individual may continue to face challenges, but at this point has successfully changed their behavior for a significant amount of time. And there you have it. Those are the stages of change right there. So the one thing I want to add with the maintenance stage, okay, so if you're going the 12-step route, that's what we call steps 10, 11, and 12. Those are called the maintenance steps. Those are the steps we do on a daily basis to maintain our recovery, which is taking a daily inventory, practicing prayer and meditation, or I should say prayer and or meditation, and being of service. Okay, that's what we do to remain humble, to remain connected to our community, to give back, to stay in touch with our higher power, and to make sure that we're not screwing up too badly on a day-to-day basis. So we're actively practicing some maintenance to make sure that we keep that negative behavior under control, aka addiction or alcoholism, and we're continuing to live this brand new lifestyle in recovery, this amazing life that we never thought possible, that we never thought that we'd be able to achieve. So let me ask you a question. Where are you in the stages of change? Are you at pre-contemplation? Are you at contemplation? Are you at preparation? Are you at action? Or are you at maintenance? What stage are you at? I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you're at least at contemplation, because you wouldn't be watching this video if you didn't think that something was wrong and you needed to address something, that you didn't have at least some type of minor problem at minimum. So I would believe that you would be at least at the contemplation phase, possibly the preparation phase, and maybe you've already entered into the action phase and you're currently in treatment, or you're currently going to meetings and you're continuously working on your recovery. And some of you might actually be in the maintenance phase, where you've gone through and done all of that and now you're just maintaining your recovery. But it's important to identify each stage of change so that you know where you're at and you can keep track of where you're at, so you don't backslip, you don't move in the wrong direction, because relapse can come out of anywhere. Like seriously, I've met people, talked to people who just don't even know how the hell the drink got in their body in the first place. They were sitting there one minute, the next minute they were drunk, and if you ask them why, they can't even give you an answer. All right, so you always have to be on guard against that next relapse, because it's waiting for you. It's hunting you down. It's sitting like it's camping. It's just waiting for you to take the wrong step, make the wrong decision, so that it can pounce and it can strike. I mean, it wants to take you out. It wants blood. It wants your life. It wants to kill you. Even worse, like, or it wants to lock you up. It wants to destroy your relationships. It wants to destroy your family. It wants to destroy your livelihood. It wants to take everything from you. So it's going to be waiting there, tempting you, reminding you of all the good times that you had in your active addiction and alcoholism, and helping you forget all the negative repercussions that came with your addiction and alcoholism. So be on guard at all times, because it's just waiting. It's waiting for you to slip up and screw up, for you to say, I don't need to go to a meeting, I don't need to call my sponsor, I don't need to call my mentor, I'm going to take a day off, I'm going to take 2 days off, I'm going to take a week off. That's how it starts. Now you can actually reverse this and do this from the point of view of someone who is in active recovery and then do the stages of change of them actually moving towards active addiction again, and where it starts as pre-contemplative, contemplative, so on and so forth, and reverse it. But I kind of like this version better, to be honest with you, because I like to focus on the positive. So this is how you start to move towards change, to eliminating a negative behavior. Now, I'm going to give you guys a recommendation, okay? I don't do this too often, but there's a book out there that I recommend that you read. And I'm a big believer in reading. I don't care how you do it. If you want to do it on like a regular old school paperback book, or if you got a Kindle, or if you've got, a book on tape, which I don't know if they really make book on tapes anymore, but you know what I mean. An audio book, I guess is what you would call it. Or if you have, there's a really good service out there. I'll give it, if I can think of it, I'll post in the description. But there's a good service out there that actually takes these amazing books and breaks it down to their key points, to where you're not reading all the fluff. It just gets right to the nitty gritty and all the good stuff that's in the book. But all that being said, my recommendation for you is buy the book Change Anything. It is an absolutely amazing read. Like, I started reading it, I couldn't put it down. If you're into like social experiments and the outcomes of social experiments, this book is all about changing negative behaviors. And they actually did several different social experiments to see what gave people the best chance at changing a negative behavior, and that included addiction and alcoholism. So one of the things that from this book I posted in one of my previous videos on how you can improve your chances by 40%, and that involves the people that you surround yourself with. So go check out that video if you get a chance, and it can fully explain to you what this book is talking about and how you can improve your chances of success of beating addiction and beating alcoholism by 40%. And now this is scientifically proven. This is a scientific study. This is something that was legitimately done. So if you want some reading material, if you want to, kill some time or gain some knowledge, buy the book Change Anything. Like, it's an amazing read. It's extremely interesting, and there is a lot of valuable information that you can gather from that book that you can then take and apply to your own life to better your life. And it's called Change Everything or Anything because it's talking about all negative behaviors. It's not just about addiction or alcoholism. If you have a negative behavior you're trying to defeat, or a negative habit, I mean, it works for just about damn well anything. So check it out if you get a chance. I highly recommend it. Those are the stages of change. Always be on the lookout for signs of relapse. Stay out of risky situations. I call it risk management, right? Manage your risk accordingly. I don't recommend going into places that are going to trigger you. A lot of people will say, well, I can go to the bar and shoot some pool and not have a drink. I mean, you stay in the barbershop long enough, you're going to get a haircut. I've said that like 15 times already in these videos. Just don't put yourself in those risky situations, and you don't have to worry about any type of negative outcome that comes from that. So just play it safe. Continue to follow suggestion. Take that next right indicated step. And sorry, I got a little scratchy throat. I'm not sick or nothing. I've just been doing a lot of talking today. But you can do this. I mean, the thing is, as I've said it before and I'll say it again, this is a very simple program for very complicated people. That's what it breaks down to. We overcomplicate the shit out of everything. And that includes recovery. It's not incredibly difficult to achieve long-term recovery, but we overcomplicate it. Stop overcomplicating everything and see it for what it is. This is something that you can do. It's possible, okay? It's not easy, but it's possible. I've seen many people do it. I shared a story on one of my videos the other day about a young lady who was able to not only maintain long-term recovery, but become self-sufficient as a single mother, get her own spot, regain full custody of both of her children. She's still doing fantastic. I mean, it is possible. You can do it. So don't give up. Life ain't going to stop coming at you. Life is still going to throw you curveballs. Life is still going to challenge you. But you are strong enough with your support group to overcome anything life can throw at you. Don't forget that. You're stronger than you think you are. All right, much stronger. And I believe in you. I really do. I know that anyone and everyone can achieve lasting recovery, because if this guy can do it, Anybody can do it, plain and simple. I was a hope to die dope fiend. You guys know that. Like, I was ready to freaking kill myself. My plan was to hang myself with an extension cord off of my second story balcony of my apartment. So I was suicidal. I've been diagnosed with anxiety, depression, and PTSD. You know, I've been a heroin addict for over a decade, and by the grace of God, I've got over 8 years clean and sober now. So, you know, this is me giving back. This is me being of service. This is me trying to share information, knowledge, education, wisdom, whatever you want to call it, with all of you, in the hopes that I affect at least one person, that one person gets something out of this video, that like maybe just triggers something in their head and a light bulb goes off and they're like, holy shit, that makes sense to me now, and I want to continue doing this. If that happens, then I've done my job. My job is, you know, my purpose is to help other people in recovery. I believe that's what I've been put on this planet to do, and that's what I'm going to continue to do till the day that I die, in one way, shape, or form. This is what I do. It's what I love to do. So, nobody told you I love you today. You know what I'm going to say? I love you. I got nothing but love for you. Love each and every one of you. Thank you guys for all the scripts. Thank you to all the subscribers out there. Thank you for subscribing to this channel. You know, I'm really trying to turn this into something amazing. I think we have a real opportunity here to create a positive community of people in recovery and start to shed that anonymity that is you know, expected of us, so that we can open up and share our accomplishments and our success stories, so that other people can realize that it's possible. I can talk till I'm blue in the face. You know, it's what I do for a living. I just talk. But if I can hear from you guys in the comments about how you've changed your life, any positivities that you've seen, if you've seen someone else do it, right? Maybe you're watching this video because you got a family member that struggles with addiction or alcoholism and they're doing well now. Share that shit. We want to hear it. We want to hear the good stuff. I'm sick of hearing all the bad stories. I hate getting the phone calls from family members telling me that their loved one just passed away because of an overdose, or they decided to take their own life. I want to hear the positivity. I want to hear the good stuff. That's what keeps me going. That's what keeps us all going. So stay positive. Focus on what's going right, not what's going wrong. Maintain that positive mindset, attitude of gratitude. You know it. And then just keep grinding, keep pushing, keep hustling. You can do this. Continue to persevere. I believe in you. All right, until the next video, peace out.